Yeah, good morning everyone.
Good morning.
Thanks for the time that given to our group. We from group 4. Now we will present our material. The title is Sentence. For my friends, the first speaker, time for you.
The first definition. Structural definition. A sentence is the larger grammatical unit that stands alone, begins with a capital letter, and ends with a period, question mark, or exclamation mark. It is also a unit of speech that is constructed according to the rules of language, is relative, complete, and independent in terms of content, grammatical structure, and intonation.
Okay, next, relational definition. A sentence is a group of words containing a subject and a predicate expressing concrete thought. The subject indicates what on is being talked about, while the predicate describes what the subject does or what happens to it. B. Types of sentence. 1. Based on internal structure. A. Complex sentence. A complex sentence has a subject, a predicate, and express a complex sentence. Example, the teacher explained the main topic of the subject very well in the classroom at 7:30 a.m. yesterday. If a sentence has a subject, a predicate, or a complex verb, it is an incomplete sentence fragment. Example of a fragment. Because a group of great white sharks swam by the shore. Complex sentence. Because a group of great white sharks swam by the shore, Blake and Ladon decided to return. Their shore goes back to the fun. B. Incomplete sentence. An incomplete sentence does not express a complete tense, overlaps a subject or predicate. Example, went to the store, ran into the woods. 2. Based on response. A common sentence used to give orders or instructions, usually starting with an imperative verb. Example, open the door, go to the market now. B. Imperative sentence. Similar to command sentence but includes request, instruction or advice. The subject is open in place. Example, get my keys from the door. Please let me wait. Don't sit down. Imperative sentence can be made more polite by adding words like please or kindly. C. Interrogative sentence. Used to ask a question and ends with a question mark. Example, has anyone seen my thoughts? Where do you go? Types of question. 1. Yes or no question. Do you want dinner? 2. WH question. Where do you live? 3. Choice question. Do you want tea or coffee?
Number 3, based on action. A. Active and passive sentence. Active voice, the subject performs the action. People drink champagne on New Year's Eve. Passive voice, the subject receives the action. Champagne is drunk on New Year's Eve. How to change active to passive? Number 1, make the object of the active sentence the subject of the passive sentence. Number 2, use the verb to be in the sum tense as the main verb. Number 3, use the past participle of the main verb. For example, active, they renovated the restaurant in 2000. 2004. Passive, the restaurant was renovated in 2004.
Number 4, based on present. Affirmative sentences state something positively. For example, David is a happy person. The clouds were blocking the sun's rays. Negative sentences state something is spelled by adding note after an auxiliary verb. For example, David is not a happy person. The clouds were not blocking the sun's rays. Number 5, based on number of clauses. Simple sentences have one independent clause, a subject, and a verb expressing a complete thought. For example, the baby cried for food. Professor Maple students completed and entered in their homework. Megan and Rob ate too much and felt sick. Compound sentences have two independent clauses joined by a conjunction. For example, the shoplifter had stolen goods. He ran out and he saw the police. They spoke to him in Spanish, but he responded in English. John goes to school with his friend, or he stays at home. Complex sentences have one independent clause and at least one dependent clause. For example, after eating lunch, Tim went to the gym. Often teeth, women face disadvantages in societies that privilege male accomplishment. The woman who took part in the story 210 was fired. Classes can be joined by coordinating conjunctions, not only have conservation-based awareness, but they can also influence whole lives. Semicolons. Astute depositors told the land they will grow their deposits. Semicolons plus conjunctive verbs. Contamination problems are known. However, organic matter in groundwater is often overlooked. Compound complex sentences have at least two independent clauses and one dependent clause. The next sentence structure. Phrase structure words are like instructions or formulas that show how words can be grouped and ordered to create a prepared sentence in a language. Their words highlight patterns and regularities in sentence construction, making it clear how speakers of a language intuitively know which order of words feels correct.
There's 9 SR or phrase structure rules. The first is phase R1. It's how to formulate the sentence. It was constructed by NP or noun phrases plus PP or verb phrases. The next one is PSR2. This is how to formulate a verb phrase. This is made by auxiliary plus main verb plus adverb adverb phrase in parentheses plus adverb phrase again plus preposition in parentheses. The next is PSR3. PSR3. This is how to make auxiliary. It's made by tenses. In parentheses is main verb plus have plus in and then plus be plus in. So the next is PSR4. It's how to make a tense. In the parentheses, it was made by present and past. The next is PSR5. This is how to formulate a main verb. It was constructed by B plus verb plus noun phrases, and then the B plus we formulate it again with noun phrase, adjective phrase, and place. The next is PSR6. It how to formulate a noun phrase that made by determine plus nominal, and then plus adjective phrase, then plus noun plus preposition. The next is PSR7. It's how to formulate an adjective phrase that made by then made by in plus adverb plus adjective. The next is PSR8. It's how to formulate an adverb phrase that made by in plus adverb. The last is PSR9. It's to formulate the preposition, that preposition plus noun phrase. The next is the example. So the first example is the sentence, the students come late. The first one, the is stand for determine or adjective, then the students is stand for noun. Then determine plus noun is formulated to noun phrases. And then the next, come, word come is a verb. And then late is an adverb. It is combined and then formulate a verb phrase. So noun phrase plus verb phrase is a sentence. So the students come late is a sentence. Next, the next example is the pretty girls are singing the English song. So the word the is determinant or adjective, and then the pretty is adjective too, and the word girls is a noun. The determinant plus adjective plus noun formulate a noun phrase. The next is are. Are is auxiliary or the be verb. Next is singing. Singing is a verb. The next is the is determined. English is adjective and song is a noun. So if it's formulate, then the pretty girls is a noun phrase that plus auxiliary are plus verb singing and then plus noun phrases combined into the main verb, then next to the verb phrase, and then it comes to a sentence. The next example 3.
Next, the student do not study the English syntax. Noun phrase, the student, or determine plus noun. The next verb phrase, do not study the English syntax, or auxiliary plus verb and plus noun phrase. Noun phrase in verb phrase, the English syntax or determine at plus adjective plus noun. The word do function as an auxiliary form. The negative form do not study.
Okay, now we move to the Q&A, question and answer. We give 2 questions for any group. Can ask, please press your hand. The first question is from Adela. Time for you.
Okay, my name is Kristiani Adela Sajau. My question is, give example sentences for each type of sentences below. Simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence. Thank you. Simple sentence, compound sentence, and complex sentence.
Sentence and the last
Complex. Complex. Complex.
complex or complete.
Complex.
Next.
Okay, thanks. Now, next question. Please press your hand. Who can question, please press your hand. Guys. Okay, I think that not have question again. Please give us time to answer your question. Now, your question, Adela, can answer by Rini. Rini, time for you.
The answer is simple sentence. A simple sentence has one dependent clause with a subject and a predicate. For example, he eats breakfast. Compound sentence. A compound sentence has two or more independent clauses joined by a conjunction. For example, she eats breakfast and then she goes to school. Complex sentence. A complex sentence has one independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. For example, when she wakes up, she eats breakfast. In this example, when she wakes up is a dependent clause and she eats breakfast is a independent clause. That's all.
Okay, Adela, how about any answer? Are you satisfied?
Yes, I am.
Okay, thanks guys for your participation. Now we close our uh, presentation with a sentence. See you again and don't forget to be happy today. Thank you.